The blog templates include a template which outputs the post in a format as needed for an RSS feed. To use it, you're going to need to create a page in Perch just like any other. This will be a blank page though, without any of your site design involved. I'll create that in the blog folder and call it rss.php. Now rss.php needs the Perch runtime included. And then we're going to need to add some information about your site. And you can hard code this, or you could create something that uses some variables and some system variables so that you can use this RSS page on other sites if you like. So let's do that. Let's create a PHP variable called domain. So that's going to get the domain that your site is running on. And we're going to set that as a variable. And this means it'll be available in the template. So whenever the Perch template uses the variable domain, it's going to use the value of domain. As I say, you could just hard code that in if you wanted to here. We need to set a header. So this will serve this as an RSS XML application rather than an HTML page. So let's set that content type. And then we're going to start to actually build up the page. So we're going to echo, which basically means print to the page. So that's opening up our XML there. And then outside of that, we're going to start the RSS tags that we need. So we're now outside of PHP. And you could always copy and paste this from the notes that go along with this video. So this is kind of like the wrapper for the information that's going to be repeated inside the RSS feed. Just like when you have an HTML page, you'd start it with HTML and you put your head and your body and so on. You have the same for RSS. There's some specific tags. So title, so this is going to be the Swift Migrations blog. And here I'm going to echo out the domain that we've already captured as a variable, and because we're echoing something out, I'm going to use Perch util to make sure that it's safe to do so. And the actual link is going to be /blog. And then I have a description of my feed. This needs to be a link to the actual feed itself. So we've already got that here. Pop that in here, and then we just need to add the actual name of the RSS page, which is going to be rss.php. That's the page that we're actually creating. So that's the self-link there. So that's just some standard stuff that we need to put in. And now we need to basically loop through and get all of our blog posts and output them in the field. Mistake. So that's some standard stuff. And now we just need to loop through all of the blog posts and output them with this RSS template, which is included with Perch. So we do that with Perch Blog Custom. Just as we did with the home page and when creating our archive page. And this time the template we want to use is blog RSS post.html, and then we put out whatever it is that we want to go into the feed. And normally that's again going to be the newest items in the feed. So then we can save that. We've got this error here. It's a strange looking error. It says cannot modify header information. I'm not really sure what that means. This header's already sent on line 7. Let's have a look at our code again. On line 7 we're sending a header. Now the thing with headers is that you can't send a header once you've output anything to the browser. And that anything could be some white space, such as the white space we've got here. So let's just delete that white space. And that's reloading. The error's gone away. We don't have an RSS reader installed, and as far we can't display RSS. So if you want to actually see that, you're going to need that open that up in a browser that actually does show RSS. And here we are in Firefox, which has an RSS reader. And so we can see here we've got our RSS feed. We've got our content showing up there. It knows it's an RSS feed. And if we look there, we can see we've got the information. And what this demonstrates is that you can use Perch to output any kind of content. It doesn't have to be a web page and outputting HTML. You can create a template that would allow you to output any sort of text content. It could even be a CSV file that you're building up. So don't just think, oh, it has to be a web page that I'm creating here. You can create any kind of content using Perch by creating templates to do so.